Welcome back to STEM with Miss Dubois. Today we're talking about holes in Fusion. That's me, Miss Dubois, so let's begin. So before we get into using the hole tool in Fusion, we have to understand what it actually is. So let's break that down. The hole tool in Fusion makes holes with specific features for certain types of screws. It's more than just extruding a circle. In fact, the hole tool only extrudes circles with the specific features that are meant for screws. So let's see this in action. Let's see how it actually works. In this next clip, I'm actually going to set up my little demo or box that I will use to extrude holes, because ultimately, with extruding holes, with using anything in Fusion, it's best to practice. So you're going to see me set up a 1" by 7" rectangle, and then I'm going to extrude it up 5 inches. Next, I'm going to use a set of construction lines and points using the sketch feature to make my layout for the holes. And I'm going to do this or make my points every ½ inch away from each other. This way I can get a wide variety of holes in practice using the tool. Because once again, the best way to learn anything in Fusion is by practicing it and doing it yourself. So if you're following along, please follow along using this technique. Now here's where I actually use the hole feature, right? All I do is click hole, click the point I want to make my hole in, and then I click whatever features, and there's a set list that you see in Fusion, and I just make my hole using that. Fusion does a lot of the work for you, and it's wonderful in that way. So yeah, that's all I literally do. I click hole, I click whatever features I want to, and boom, the hole is made for me. And I'm going to do the same exact method for every point that I have laid out on my sketch, because I want to see the wide range that Fusion has to offer with its hole function. And this is where I take a super quick sidestep to talk about the section analysis tool. It's a really useful tool if you want to see the functions and the features of your solid model, but you can't see it because it's fully solid. So what you'll do is you're going to click inspect, and then you're going to click section analysis. And when you're done with that, you're going to click the face that you want to analyze, because it'll analyze that entire plane basically. So you're going to click that plane, you're going to drag it to where you want to analyze, and then voila, you have your section analysis done. Now, another really cool feature about the hole tool is that if you want to change a part of the tool, or a part of the hole, you can actually do that going to the hole feature and basically manipulating the part that you want to change. Whether it's the head of the hole, whether it's the angle, it could be a lot of things. And Fusion will tell you what it will look like and what will be changed when you change the feature, obviously. So yeah, honestly, you just see me messing around with this because once again, in Fusion, the best way to learn is by messing around and exploring the application yourself. Now, a really, really important thing to note about the hole tool is that it will only extrude circles. It will not extrude any other shape, so you are only going to extrude circles because the hole tool is meant for screws and other features like that. This perfectly ties us into the differences between the hole tool and the extrude tool. The extrude tool can cut into and extrude any shape from a block or into a block, and it can add on to things. However, it cannot make holes with specific features for screws. Only the hole tool can do that. So once again, let's see this in action. So in this next clip, you actually see me basically setting up the same thing that I did with the hole feature, except I'm going to be extruding specific shapes. And I'm going to be extruding a wide variety of shapes. I have my shapes done, and I'm going to have my shapes cut into my block. Then I use that same section analysis tool that I used earlier in the video, except I'm using this to show y'all the difference between the hole tool and the extrude tool, right? Here with the extruded shapes, I don't have any of those screw type features that the hole tool will give me because I didn't use them, because the extrude tool doesn't offer them. The only thing that it offers in this regard is that it lets me extrude shapes other than circles. And the other feature of the extrude tool is that it will actually let me add on to the shape by basically extruding them up, having that feature be a part and add on to the block. And you can see these new additions of these different shapes that are extruded out of the block here in this glorious view. This ties us in to the differences between the hole tool and the extrude tool yet again. The extrude tool can add out or add on to the block. It can add on circles and other shapes like the triangle, square, rectangles, and other shapes, right? The list goes on. Any shape that there is, it'll add on to it. Additionally, the extrude tool can actually cut in certain shapes that are more than just circles. It can cut into the feature as we saw earlier in the video, in addition to adding on and extruding out those other shapes. These are all the differences written out between the hole tool and the extrude tool. Please feel free to take a screenshot if you want to. And that's the video on holes in Fusion. I'm STEM with Miss Dubois. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day and a great life. Bye!